Hello, I'm Solaj Alfred. Welcome to the HTS Epoll. It's your opportunity to weigh in on the most pressing issues of the day. There has been a change of government in the sister OECS nation of Grenada following Thursday's general elections. The Dr. Keith Mitchell-led ruling New National Party, NNP, which had won the previous two general elections by capturing all 15 seats, was booted out of office by the voters. The National Democratic Congress, NDC, led by 44-year-old lawyer Dixon Mitchell, won 9 of the 15 seats on offer to the incumbent 6 seats. The results of the Grenada elections stand in stark contrast with one-sided victories of the previous 2 elections. So we ask, are there lessons to be learned from the outcome of the Grenada elections for St. Lucia's political parties? We tied the numbers on our voting platforms, and here is how you voted. 55% said yes, 27% said no, and 18% did not know. We also took to the streets to get your opinion, and here's what you had to say.
I mean, if you there for 4 terms already, you know what I'm saying, people are going to get tired of you. They're going to vote you out, you know what I'm saying? So that's a lesson to be learned itself.
Yes, well, I think there are a number of lessons that can be learned from that. First of all, it shows one that the people will be the ones who decide who the government is. And no political party should take the people for granted. It is true that Dr. Michel really swept the polls on 3 separate occasions. That sometimes would give people or politicians this air of invincibility. And it is demonstrated quite clearly as a result of this election that you cannot take the people for granted, not because you have won convincingly that you are invincible. The people will always be the ones who make the final decisions as far as the results of elections are concerned, because they are the ones who choose their government. So I think politicians should learn from that regardless of what your margin of victory has been in the past, you can never take the people for granted.
Yeah, the reason why sometimes when these fellas stay in power, they turn into dictators. It's like they're controlling everything, so it's always good to put them out after a while.
Of course there are lessons to be learned. If there wasn't lessons to be learned, what happened with the youngster coming in and get him out wouldn't be possible or happened. The fact of the matter is, you see the youths and the youngsters, they are the coming generation and they are learning. And I think a lot more politicians at a young age is going to enter the arena of politics. And maybe, just maybe, we'll have a more global change that needs to happen.
In a sense, yes. In a sense, no. Sometimes the electorate gets tired of the serving prime minister. In the case of St. Lucia, if we remember Honorable John Melvin Compton, he was a great prime minister, the best we ever had. But they got tired of him. That doesn't mean that he did something bad or something was not going well in the country. And sometimes the electorate expects better. They're not happy with the sitting government, and in their minds, things will improve and will get better. I'm going back to St. Lucia again. Are we getting better? We put out the UWP government. Are things better? That is my question. Are things better, or will things improve?
Are there lessons to be learned? The guy was beaten on somebody like the young boy.
Well, sometimes power gets to the head, and sometimes they behave like they're dictators. So, as I said earlier, in a sense, yes, in a sense, no.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a lot of lessons to be learned, and it shows that a lot of the leaders, when they stay in power for a long time, they become complacent and they take the people for granted. And I believe there should be a term limit for these leaders, because what was happening in St. Vincent, Ralphie has served 5 consecutive terms, and even in St. Kitts too. So there is a lesson to be learned that our leaders, they need to stop taking people for granted.
Thanks for those responses. Now to our new discussion. The carnival music season is in full bloom with all of the genres, groovy, power, and calypso, entering the final stages. But there are questions about the quality of this year's music, with some commentators comparing it unfavorably to that of 2019. The two-year break, some say, may have had an impact on the quality of music output. Other commentators disagree, suggesting that the break may have dulled out appreciation of carnival music. So we ask, does the quality of this year's carnival music match up to that of 2019? Voting is easy. Just log on to htsstlucia.org and vote. Remember, our Epoll team is always on the go to get your responses as well. Watch the HTS News Force from 7 p.m. for the results and a new discussion.